All right, so for number 18, 19, 20, and 21, we are going to be using the calculator. So you have to know how to use the calculator for this one. Correlation is nothing more than how well does the data fit the line. How well does the data fit the line? Is it like, here's the data, here's the line, and the data is like real close to it? So that's really strong correlation. It's really close to that line. Or is it more along the lines of, here's the line, and the data is like here, there. That's just horrendous correlation. All right? So that's really what we're getting at. And correlation is on a bit of a spectrum. It goes everywhere from -1, 0, to +1. Okay? Whereas the ones are perfect. That means the line is perfect. The dots are perfectly on these things. +1 just means it has a positive slope, and they are perfectly on that line. -1 means it's a negative slope, and again, they are perfectly on that line. 0 means you can draw a line through that any way you want, but they're just, I have no idea how you did it. It's just horrible correlation. Just what it is. Okay? So think of it this way. For correlation, 1 is perfect positive slope. -1 is perfect negative slope. 0 is absolutely no correlation whatsoever. There is no pattern. Yeah, if you want to draw a line, great. But this data has nothing to do with each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to go stat edit. Alright, and under L1, put all your X's. Under L2, put all your Y's in order so that you'll see like L1, L2, you'll have -2, 4, -4, 1, all -2, -2, +2, -2, -3, so all the way down the list. Okay? Let me erase this real quick. Why is it not erasing? There we go. So put all this under stat edit. Once you've done this, we need to make sure that our stat diagnostics are on. So hit the mode button. The mode button's right next to second. Go to mode and scroll down to the next page where you see the where it says stat diagnostics, and make sure they are turned on. Highlight on, hit enter. Stat diagnostics. It looks like this. Stat diagnostics. Alright, and turn it on. Otherwise, we're not going to get what we want. Alright, so we turn on our stat diagnostics. We've inputted this into stat. Now hit stat once. Go over to calc. So for step 2, go to stat, calc, C-A-L-C, and we want linreg, linear regression, linreg. And for this one, we get an A of -0.35, a B of -0.04. So here we go. Y equals, and just round, -0.35x minus 0.04. And the R value, your R is your correlation coefficient. So R is -0.3. Okay, so first things first, the correlation is negative. Alright, simply because R is negative, or R is your correlation coefficient. Correlation coefficient. That is that number that's on this spectrum over here. This one is -0.3. It's right there. Okay, so it's negative because it's on the negative side. I would call this either really weak or practically none. Alright, you can definitely not say it's strong. Strong would be way up here, like 0.8 or higher. Weak is anything lower than 8, None is somewhere close to 0, so I'm going to go ahead and call this none. But if you were to call this weak, that's okay. Don't worry about that. That's fine. You're not going to get tested that strongly. They're going to be obvious on the test as to what's weak and what's strong. All right? And that's just how you do it. Go to Stat Edit, plug in the information, give the equation, use your R value, and your R value will tell you whether it's strong, whether it's weak, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. Okay, so the closer to 1 or negative 1, the stronger it is. The closer to 0, the weaker it is. Okay? Pause it, see what you can do. Alright, for number 19, when you plug all those data into Stat Edit, remember, we're plugging L1 is X, L2 is Y. Go to Stat Edit, put everything in, and then Stat Calculate, Lin Reg, Stat Calc, Lin Reg, and you get Y equals 0.86 X plus 0.13, or 14 if you want to round up because the 8. Alright, so that would be the line of best fit. And the R value is 0.994. Alright, so this is positive, simply because R is positive. And would this be strong or would this be weak? It is strong. It's very strong. It is practically on top of 1 over here. I mean, it is, for all case and purpose, this is a perfect correlation. It's as strong as it gets. Alright? Remember, everything's on a spectrum. It's all on a graph. The closer to negative 1, that's perfect, but negative slope. Up here, 1 is perfect, but positive slope. 0 is as messed up as you could possibly be. Alright? And at this point, I really would encourage you to go back and do these, because I'm just going to throw the answers up there, explain them real quick, and keep on going. Okay, let's talk about the last two real quick. I went ahead and just threw that data in and ran it real quick. And when I got Stat Edit, put it all in, hit Stat Calculate, Lin Reg for linear regression. And for number 20, I got this, and I got a correlation of negative 0.94. That is so close to negative 1, it's not even funny. So it's negative because the number's negative. And it's very strong because it's real close to negative 1. Remember, negative 1 is very strong, positive 1 is very strong. 0 is nothing. There's no correlation whatsoever. I got number 21, same idea. Threw that one in there. I got these as my line of best fit. But I got an R value of 0.01. So yeah, technically that's positive because it is a positive number, but it's 1/100th. It's practically nothing. So that is as close to 0 as you can pretty much get. Oh, I'm sorry, not 0. 1, -1. That is like right there on top of it to the right. So that is no correlation whatsoever. I don't even think you can call it a positive correlation. It is just no correlation.